Good afternoon and welcome to this Jack's Facts webinar training session. My name is Doug Cook. I'm the publisher of Jack's Facts Travel Marketing, and I'd like to thank you all for being here today. I do appreciate that you took the time out of your busy day to join us. Today we have Elena Maloney. She is the Northeast BDM for Sita World Tours, joining us again. Today she's doing a presentation about Ecuador and the Galapagos Islands. And as I'm sure everyone is aware, Ecuador suffered a 7.8 magnitude earthquake just a couple weeks ago on April 16th. The effects of that earthquake on tourism will be one of the topics that Elena will address this afternoon. After her presentation, there will be time for questions and answers. So if you would please send us any that you may have in the area provided, we will get to them after her presentation. Alternatively, you are welcome to contact either Elena or myself directly at our emails shown on the screen here with any questions or comments you may have about today's webinar. And with that, let's turn this over to Elena.
Thank you, Doug. Welcome, everyone. I really appreciate you coming and joining us today to learn all about Ecuador and its Galapagos Islands. As Doug said, I am Elena Maloney. I'm one of the BDMs for Sita World Tours. I've actually heard Ecuador referred to as South America in a nutshell. Before I get in depth in the destination, I just want to take a moment to talk about Sita World Tours. So why should you choose Sita? We were established in 1933. We're celebrating over 83 years of excellence. We offer you, the travel agent, the ease of proposals and reservations. We strive to provide quotes and proposals quickly and efficiently. We can offer a choice of luxury, deluxe, and first-class accommodations. We offer escorted, locally hosted, and independent tour programs. We can provide you with customized, tailor-made programs. And we have really experienced travel specialists. I think our consultants are really the unsung heroes of our company. They average over 18 years selling their destinations. So you know when you call in that you have an expert there to help you plan that perfect vacation for your clients. Sita has a special group division, and we are a proud USTOA member. So let's get into the destination. I want to just start for a quick minute talking about the whole South and Central America. This area of the world is becoming one of Sita's fastest growing destinational areas. In Central America, we can offer Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. In South America, we can offer Peru, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Ecuador, Paraguay, Uruguay, Bolivia, Colombia, and Venezuela. And any of these countries can be combined with Ecuador for a wonderful South American vacation for clients. In South and Central America, we feature 17 countries. We offer several scheduled departure itineraries. We also offer many daily departures. Your clients have a choice of join-in group or private tour options on several itineraries. Just so you know, join-in touring means it uses seat and coach bus tours and transfers with bilingual guides. There's a maximum on any program of 25 passengers, but many of these tours are a lot less than that. On private tours, it's exactly as it states. We use a private vehicle with driver and local English-speaking guides during all the sightseeing. In this area, we can offer 3 categories of hotels: standard, first class, or deluxe. On some of our tour programs, you'll note that internal flights within the tour are an additional cost. We will let you know the cost of this at the time of the proposal. It's because the cost does change depending on season and when your clients are traveling, so it's hard to put that price in the full tour cost, but we do that right at the proposal stage. At Sita, we specialize in custom designing any itinerary to exactly match the needs and requirements of each client. We can combine full tours, parts of tours, we can add stopovers and extensions. And also know that we have exclusive experiences or value-add components on many of our departures. So let's talk about Ecuador in particular. It's on the Pacific Ocean on the northwest side of the continent of South America. It's very easy to get to from the United States. There's a number of nonstop flights available. For example, flying from New York to Quito is just over 6 hours. From Miami to Quito is 5 hours, 20 minutes. And flying Houston to Quito is just over 4 hours. So I'm a big map person. I always like to put the map and really show where some of these places are so it gives you a better idea when you're selling it. Ecuador, it may be small, but it really offers a dazzling array of wonders. It is one of the most popular destinations in South America. And it's also a great destination for all types of your clients, whether they're older retirees, if they're young couples, honeymooners, especially great for families or multi-generational tours. The gateways for Ecuador are Quito and Guayaquil, and some of the main attractions to be seen. Quito, and this on the map you can see is right here, right under the equator, which is this white line here. Otavalo is famous for its street market, and it also has a bit of the Amazon here in this area of the map. And of course, you have the Galapagos, which are off the coast of the mainland. Best time to travel. The easy answer is anytime is a good time to travel. It really is a year. There's lots of demand for travel to Ecuador during the summer and winter holidays. December is a peak season, so if you have clients interested, please be sure to book well in advance. You don't want to find out that they're sold out, especially when it comes to the Galapagos Islands cruise. And no visa is required for U.S. citizens. Some basic information about Ecuador. It's located on the Pacific coast of South America, right on the equator. The population is 15.6 million citizens. The official language is Spanish and Quechua, but you'll find that English is really widely spoken, especially in all the tourist areas, hotels, and sightseeing areas. The official currency is the U.S. dollar. U.S. dollar is widely accepted throughout. In the time zone, it's 5 hours less than Greenwich Mean Time, and they don't have daylight savings time. So as for today, based on in April, they are 1 hour behind New York City time. And in the Galapagos, they're 1 hour behind that. So right now, it's about 2:13 in the afternoon in New York, so it would be 2:13 p.m. in Quito, and 1:13 p.m. in Quito and 12:13 p.m. in Galapagos Islands. And then the geography, it has four very different regions: the Galapagos, the Pacific Coast, the Andes, and the Amazon. The country itself is broken up into 24 provinces. Before I go any farther, I really did want to take a few minutes to talk about those recent events. I know Doug mentioned in the beginning, on April 16th, Ecuador was hit with a 7.8 magnitude earthquake. The epicenter of the earthquake was just off the coast, and several strong aftershocks followed the initial quake. The hardest hit area of this nation was the coastal Manabi province. And bear with me, I'm going to go back to this map just to show you. It was right in this area where the earthquake hit, and this is the area that was most affected and had the most damage, right in this area, really the coastal areas and the small coastal villages. Visitors traveling to Ecuador or if they're planning to visit, they can feel confident that their trip will not be impacted and feel secure to continue on with their plans to visit that country. The main tourism areas of Quito, Arevalo, Cuenca are basically unaffected. The airports, all their infrastructure, buildings, hotels, everything is functioning normally, and there was almost no damage. Guayaquil, in spite of being a coastal city, has suffered less damage than other areas in the coastal region. Its airports, hotels, and tourism sites are all functioning normally. The Galapagos, they're located 600 miles off the coast. They had no effect or impact at all from this. And I can tell you that Sita actually had clients traveling in Ecuador at the time of the earthquake, and they did not get impacted at all, and they had a wonderful trip. So let's move on and talk about why you should have your clients visit Ecuador. There's a number of reasons. We'll start with nature. It's the country with the highest diversity per square kilometer. Nearly 20% of its territory consists of protected areas. There's UNESCO-recognized national parks, which include the Galapagos and Sangay. People go for the culture. There's diversity within its citizens, with nearly 13 indigenous nationalities. There's cultural patrimonies, ancestral, and contemporary culture. Lots of people go for adventure. Ecuador, it's a destination where you can practice most adventure sports as well as experience some of the softer adventure. People go for the cities. They have cities that are recognized as World Heritage Patrimonies by UNESCO, such as Quito and Cuenca. It also has cities that are recognized as models for human development and urban regeneration, such as Guayaquil. There are beach cities and ports, cities and Andean towns, and Amazon populations with unique characteristics. People go for the food. Traditional Ecuadorian fare and international cuisines abound. Shopping. Unique handicrafts and current fashion are to be found. Some other reasons to visit Ecuador is the train, bird watching, and whale watching. So what I thought I'd do is go through each one of those 4 regions of Ecuador and talk about some facts and highlights of each region. So we'll start with the Andes. The Andes region offers so much to visitors. There's heritage cities, an avenue of volcanoes, indigenous communities, colorful outdoor markets, and a historic train that crosses the Andes. Ranging in elevation between 4,900 feet to over 20,000 feet at the summit of Chimborazo, which, by the way, Chimborazo is the highest snow-capped volcano in the country. The Ecuadorian Andes include some of the country's best icons. The weather in that area, the climate in the Andes varies really depending on the altitude. Obviously, the higher the altitude, the colder it gets. Average daytime temperatures in the cities like Quito would be between 60 and 77 during the day and 46 to 50 at night. Snow and ice are visible year-round in the high Andes Mountains and volcanoes. What type of food will you find in this area? Traditional Andean cuisine features a blend of different native products such as potatoes, corn, beans, rice, and vegetables, and a variety of meats like beef, chicken, and pork. Delicious and hearty soups are also very popular, as well as fresh fruit juices served at every meal. And then adventures in the area: trekking, climbing, mountain biking, horseback riding, zip lines, and paragliding. Some of the highlights of this region: you have the cruise train across the Andes. The Ecuador's cruise train runs down the Avenue of the Volcanoes, giving its passengers breathtaking views of the changing landscape, transitioning from the high Andes Mountains and snow-capped volcano peaks to cloud forests, fertile valleys, to tropical coastal landscapes. It's a 280-mile journey, and passengers will enjoy their journey aboard upscale train coaches reminiscent of the early 20th century. You'll also find historical cities. Quito, it's the capital of Ecuador. It was the first city declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1979. This metropolis is located in a fertile Andean valley at just over 9,000 feet above sea level. Surrounded by mountains and snow-capped volcanoes, Quito has the best preserved and largest historic center in all of Latin America. Cuenca is located in the southern Andes at 8,200 feet. It's Ecuador's third largest city, and it's actually known as its arts and cultural center. This was a former Inca town, and it was conquered by the Spaniards in the 16th century. It was named a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in '99 for its impressive historical center. This city of churches, there's actually 52 in all, 52 churches, and they were all built in the 16th and 17th century. It gives visitors the impression that time has stood still. Baños, located between the Andes and the Amazon region, with the active volcano on one side and the rainforest on the other, it offers a myriad of outdoor activities for adventure lovers, ranging from hiking, mountain biking, canyoning, hot springs, rafting, indigenous community tours, rock climbing, and horseback riding. And last, we have the Mindo cloud forest. Amongst butterflies, exotic birds, and tropical orchids, the small town of Mindo is a subtropical forest which will enchant bird watchers, nature lovers, and adrenaline enthusiasts with its waterfalls, jungle trails, and rivers. I just want to take a moment to also point out this picture. This is actually called the Middle of the World Monument. It's right on the equator. In fact, when you're doing touring outside of the Quito area, clients will go visit this, and of course they can get their picture taken right on the equator. So I'm going to move on to the next region, which is the Amazon. Ecuador's Amazon rainforest, which makes up 40% of the country's territory, is the most accessible in South America and home to 10% of the world's known species. This lush green region, just east of the Andean mountain range, is one of the most spectacular reservoirs of biodiversity on the planet. Crossed by winding rivers, impressive rapids, and towering waterfalls, the Amazon rainforest is densely inhabited by unique species of flora and fauna, making it a perfect place to reconnect with nature. The weather in this area, it's hot and humid, easy to remember with rainforest. Average temperature is about 79 degrees. There's only 2 seasons here. The dry period from November to March, and the wet one the rest of the year. What's the food like there? Yucca is a dietary staple. This starchy root is peeled and boiled, fried, and used in a variety of dishes and in combination with other traditional Amazon products and river fish cooked in traditional ways. And adventures that are available here are bird watching, canoeing, rafting, kayaking, trekking, wildlife observation, visits with local indigenous communities, and guided nature walks. Some of the highlights of this area. The Yasuni is the largest protected area in mainland Ecuador and holds an impressive biodiversity in the heart of the Amazon rainforest area. The park is located about 150 miles from Quito and was declared a biosphere reserve by UNESCO in '89. The Yasuni is home to some indigenous tribes, including 2, which I find fascinating, 2 tribes that actually live in voluntary isolation. The national park is the most biologically diverse spot on the planet, making for incredible wildlife viewing experience. Cuyabeno is the reserve there. The water actually replaces dry land. Canoes and kayaks are the only means of transportation across this mega diverse Amazon basin. The flooded forests of Cuyabeno Wildlife Reserve make this a magical and mysterious place which attracts nature lovers from around the world. In 2011, the Center for Community Tourism, Ixcayuca, was created with the aim of raising awareness about indigenous cultures and traditions. Located in the Amazon rainforest and surrounded by rivers forming a stunning landscape, it's the perfect place for resting in harmony with nature. So that's the Amazon. We now move over to the third region, which is the Pacific Coast region. Over 1,000 miles of endless beaches and its tropical climate welcomes visitors for outdoor fun year-round. The Ecuadorian coast is characterized for its ever-changing landscapes, from miles of coconut-fringed beaches, gigantic cliffs towering over multicolored coves, to green mango forests and dry tropical woodlands. Bathed by the waters of the Pacific Ocean and blessed with a warm tropical climate throughout the year, this area is popular with nature lovers, water sports enthusiasts, in particular surfers definitely flock to this area, and beachgoers. Further inland, like picturesque towns popular for their local food and crafts, the bustling city of Guayaquil, historical sites and miles of cacao, banana, palm, and rice plantations. So what's the weather like here? The beach season is January to May, and it offers sunny days in the morning with afternoon showers, and they say this is the best season to visit the Pacific Coast. The dry season is June to December. It can be a bit cooler and usually overcast, but it offers great whale watching opportunities from June to October. The food in this area is characterized by its blend of seafood with banana, coconut, and green plantains, which give it an original and delicious flavor, different to cuisines in other parts of Ecuador. And what's the adventures available here? surfing, as I mentioned, bodyboarding, kite surfing, windsurfing, paddleboarding, whale watching, kayaking, hiking, and paragliding. Some of the highlights. Definitely the whale watching. During humpback whale season, which is June to October, visitors to the coast can go on whale watching tours along the coast or even do a guided visit to the Isla de la Plata. Isla de la Plata is known as a mini Galapagos because many of the same species inhabit this island, but it's just 23 miles off the coast. So you can do this as a little day trip, boat trip out to the islands instead of a full-on cruise through the Galapagos Islands if they don't have a lot of time. So how about Hang Ten in Monica? This one sleepy fishing village turned surf capital. It attracts surfers from around the world year-round, thanks to its perfect waves that can reach over 8 feet. One of the most renowned surf spots is La Punta, a coral reef north of the Bohemian town famous for its ecological cabins, small beach hotels, casual restaurants, surf shops, and a fun nightlife. Guayaquil, this coastal metropolis, is home to over 2.5 million people. It serves as Ecuador's main port and bustling economic center. Although the city boasts a modern architecture and infrastructure, a glimpse into the colonial time can be seen in the district of Las Plaines. This neighborhood is a small colonial city with wooden houses, narrow cobblestone streets, art shops, boutique hotels, bars, and restaurants with open terraces. It overlooks the river with fantastic view of the city's skyline. Also not to be missed is a walk along the 1.5 mile long boardwalk, which features several monuments, museums, shops, restaurants, and bars. And last but not least we'll have Esmeralda. It's located in the northern end of the Pacific coast, up near the Colombian border. It's home to the largest Afro-Ecuadorian community in the country, offering a distinct cuisine and vibrant cultural celebrations. So now we move on to the fourth region, the Galapagos. Galapagos Islands have also been referred to as the Enchanted Islands, one of the most renowned destinations in the world. It offers one-of-a-kind nature experience. Picture yourself walking among giant tortoises, sea lions, exotic birds, and swimming alongside whale sharks and giant manta rays who have no fear of man and are just as curious about you as you are about them. This unique opportunity is only possible in the Galapagos Islands. It's located about 600 miles off the Ecuadorian Pacific coast. The islands are a living museum and a showcase of evolution. It was declared a Natural World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1979. The Galapagos have also been recognized as the first destination to visit before you die by the readers of USA Today. The weather in the area. It's divided into 2 seasons. There's a warm, wet season with temperatures around 86 degrees from January to about May, June, and the cool, dry season with temperatures around 72 from June, July to December. The food, the cuisine is very diverse, fresh, and abundant. It's renowned for its seafood. In particular, I've heard the shrimp and the lobsters are to die for. Of course, freshly caught fish, and not to be missed is the island's delicious ceviche. What type of adventures are available? Swimming, surfing, kayaking, snorkeling, diving, hiking, guided nature walks, and bird watching. So what are some of the highlights The Galapagos Marine Reserve covers an area equivalent to half of Ecuador's landmass and is the second biggest marine reserve in the world. Species from across the Pacific congregate in the waters that surround the island, making for exceptional scuba diving and snorkeling experience. Tortuga Bay is a paradise-like white sand beach bathed by turquoise waters, and it's considered to be one of the most beautiful bays in the Galapagos Islands. Each year, it welcomes countless sea turtles at nesting time who come to lay their eggs on the protected sands. This bay is located in the southern end of Santa Cruz Island and can be reached via a well-marked trail that crosses a prickly pear cactus forest. The Charles Darwin Research Station. It's a biological research station located on Santa Cruz Island, and this is where scientists and volunteers work on research and conservation projects. It's open to the public, and you can visit its information center, museum, the baby tortoise house, the adult tortoise enclosure, where one can come face-to-face with the Galapagos giants. And then they also have Isabella Island. This one is one of the largest and youngest of the Galapagos Islands. It's located on the western edge of the archipelago and boasts the largest population of giant wild tortoise. So where you can see them at the research station on Santa Cruz Island, on Isabella Island, you actually see them in the wild. Besides the island's abundant animal, bird, and marine life, it also has active volcanoes. And in particular, I want to point out the Sierra Negra crater, which is actually the second largest volcano in the world. So to access the Galapagos Islands, what we do is we fly our clients from Quito to Beltra, and from there they board their cruise through the islands. Just so you know, there is a $100 entrance fee to the Galapagos Islands. This is an additional fee, and it's paid upon arrival in the islands. We offer 3, 4, or 7-night cruises, and they include 2 shore excursions daily. It's full board, of course, all meals, and we can offer either a superior cabin or a junior suite. If clients want to be upgraded, we can do that. On the cruise ships, all the cabins are outside cabins. They're small ships. One ship has up to 90 passengers, and one has 100 passengers maximum. I like this picture because it really can give you an idea of the size of the ship right there. Qualified naturalist guides lead small groups on each shore excursion. Want to make a couple of points here. When we are booking your clients, we need to have all the passport information right up front to make the booking for the Galapagos Islands. And also, if you have any clients who have mobility or disability issues, just keep in mind, if they are wheelchair bound, they really do not have access to the islands, because as you can see from this photo here, the ship anchors out in the bay, and then you take small zodiacs from ship to shore. And then once you're on the island, there is a lot of walking, so it would be very difficult for someone in a wheelchair. The other thing I just want to remind everyone is, obviously, they are small ships. So if you have clients interested, please book your clients as early as possible, because these ships do sell out. Here's some more pictures of the cruise ship. I think this will give you a little bit better idea. The junior suites have large panoramic windows. The superior cabins have smaller windows. This photo that you see here on the bottom right, it's actually a balcony suite that we can upgrade your clients to. If they would prefer a more intimate experience, we can also upgrade your clients to small yachts. There is the Coral 1 and the Coral 2, which has only 16 or 30 passengers maximum. As I said, they're great for the clients who want that more intimate experience. And of course, when you think of the Galapagos, it is all about going and seeing all of the different unique animals and species that are there. I also like this photo in the top right because you really can see how up close and personal you can get to the animals. And there's another one where you can see on the bottom how close they are. So that goes through all the regions of Ecuador. I want to take a few moments and go through our tour programs with Sita. This is actually our most popular, one of our most popular tours, Ecuador and its Galapagos Islands. This is really good itinerary for any of your clients, and as I said, perfect for families too. It's a 9-day tour starting in Quito. The tour starts on Monday. Now, I make the point of saying that because keep in mind that tours start on specific days of the week because the cruise only sails certain days of the week. They arrive in Quito, and that first day is really a day to relax. We always recommend to clients that they 2 or 3 nights in the Quito area, as there's lots to see and visit in this area. Day 2 is sightseeing in the Quito area, and then we also go over to the Middle of the World Monument, that picture that I showed you earlier. Day 3, we go over to Otavalo, and that's where we see the famous indigenous street market. Day 4 of the itinerary, we fly them to Beltra. And by the way, this flight is included in the tour price already for your clients. There they board the Galapagos cruise for 4 nights, 5 days. After the cruise, they fly back to Quito and depart for home. This tour is popular because it includes the 4-night cruise, and they can visit more islands in the Galapagos and see more flora and fauna. Some of the highlights in the islands, there's if they want to take part of it, there's a high-intensity hike on San Cristobal to admire beautiful landscapes. There's great snorkeling opportunity off of the beautiful white sand beach of Gardner Bay on the island of Hispaniola. Suez Point in Hispaniola is considered one of the richest places in terms of species diversity. Here they can see the Nazca booby, the blue-footed booby, the waved albatross, sea lions, as well as the most colorful marine iguanas of the Galapagos. Floriana Island is fascinating in terms of its human history. This was the first site in the Galapagos to be inhabited by people. And at Post Office Bay, one can continue the tradition of sending a postcard by placing them in a barrel as existed since 1793. On Santa Cruz Island, that's the only place where giant tortoises can be seen in the wild. And of course, we will go over to the Charles Darwin Research Station. So now this is another one of our programs, and hence the name. It says Affordable Ecuador and its Galapagos Island. It's similar to the first one that I talked about in the fact that the difference here is it's a shorter 6-day program and a bit more affordable price, great value. This one only has 2 nights in Quito, and it's only a 3-night cruise in the Galapagos Islands. It differs from the first tour in that we don't have a sightseeing tour to visit Otavalo on the mainland, and as I said, a one-night shorter cruise. But for those clients on a budget, it's a great program. The one other difference is that this is only first-class accommodation, whereas our regular Ecuador and Galapagos Islands program, they have the choice of either first class or deluxe. And then I wanted to point out our Ecuador and Peru. This is a very popular tour because it combines two of South America's greatest icons. So many clients think, okay, this is my one trip to get down to that area. Why not try getting it all in one trip? And you don't find too many tours that combine these two countries together. So we've put that together where they can see the Galapagos Islands and then go down to Peru and visit Machu Picchu. It's a 10-day tour. The tour starts on Saturday. They spend 2 nights in Quito. There's sightseeing, of course, in the area. On Monday, or day 3, they start their Galapagos Islands cruise. This one is the 3-night, 4-day cruise, and they'll visit all the main islands. On day 6, they say goodbye to the Galapagos, fly back to Quito, catch their plane then down to Lima, Peru. On this tour, in the price, the round-trip Quito-Baltra out to the Galapagos Islands, that price is included. The flight to Lima is an additional cost, which we will quote at the time of the proposal. Once they arrive in Lima, they have 1 night there, and then we take them up to the Sacred Valley via Cusco. We don't have them actually stay overnight in Cusco because of the altitude. We find it's better for them to stay in the Sacred Valley and do Machu Picchu first, and then return to Cusco. This way they've already gotten acclimated to the high altitude. This tour includes the Vista train, Vista Dome train to Machu Picchu, overnight in that area. They visit, of course, the ruins. Day 9, they have a full day up in that area, and there's lots of options that they can include a second visit to the ruins. Or if you have a bit higher end clients that want to upgrade, we can upgrade them to the Hiram Bingham train or the Sanctuary Lodge if they prefer. So those are 3 of our set tour departures and set itineraries. Please know that we are happy to fully customize your client's vacation. Our destination specialists will tailor-made tours to fit your client's budget, dates of travel, and special needs. We can combine full tours or parts of tours. Stopovers and extensions can be arranged. We know all of our clients have special arrangements. We're happy to arrange tour programs that include these special interests and needs. We can offer air-inclusive or land-only programs, and we offer good value for pre- and post-cruise options. Here's our 2016 Tour Digest. In this Tour Digest, we offer over 90 different programs to 90 different exotic destinations around the world, including Asia and India, all throughout Europe, Australia and New Zealand, Africa and the Middle East, South and Central America. You can order these tour digests. If you do not have them, you can go onto our website, which is listed there, www.sitatours.com. And you can order them. We'll be happy to send them over to you. Full detailed day-by-day itineraries, tour dates, and prices all can be found on our website. We also have a travel agent section. If you're interested, you can access this either by the link that you see listed here, or when you're on the regular website, just go to the bottom right-hand corner and click on Agent Services. You register the first time, and then you use that username and password to click in anytime you'd like. You have access to information, country profiles, information on countries around the world. We have exclusive offers. We have a library of past recorded webinars, and we have a destination training program listed there. To celebrate our 83rd year in business, we are offering you, the travel agent, a wonderful incentive. For every booking you make, you will receive an $83 American Express gift card. This incentive is over and above your commission. Some of the conditions that apply: you have to be registered on our Agent Services program. Your clients must be booked and deposit paid by the end of December of this year, and they have to travel by the end of March of 2017. So how do we make a booking and book our clients interested in Ecuador and the Galapagos Islands? You can email us at the general sitatours@sitatours.com, or I find even easier is just dial into the 800 number, 1-800-421-5643. Press 1 for the reservations menu, and then of course press the digit to correspond to the destination you need. South and Central America, press 5, and you will be immediately connected to one of our destination specialists. And that takes me to the end of my program. As I said, our website is right there, www.sitatours.com. My contact details are listed there. I can be reached at extension 1522. My cell phone is listed, as well as my email address. And I've also listed Anshu Khanna. He is our product manager that oversees our South America department. He and his team are ready and waiting for your call to book your client on their wonderful adventure. He can be reached at extension 1507, or there is his email address also. At this time, I just want to say thank you for listening to my presentation.
Well, Elena, thank you
Do we
very
have any questions?
We do. Thank you for that very informative presentation. We do have at least one question here. The question is, what is being done by Ecuador to limit the number and size of cruise companies and tourists who visit the Galapagos Islands to protect the indigenous animals and environment? And also,
That is absolutely.
Is there a limiting of the wild dogs?
I will tell you that, yes, there is limits already in place. In fact, over 2 years ago, they started limiting the amount of cruise ships that go to the islands and the amount of people that can be on the each island directly at one time. So they're very conscious of the conservation going on, and they monitor that on a daily basis to make sure that it is not affecting the species and there is no impact of tourism there.
Great, thank you. We have another question. Karen asks if you could go back one slide that has the extensions, your contact information for the different departments.
Sure. Sorry, I didn't realize I hit the button. There it is. This is the booking slide. I'm not sure which one. Can you read that again? Which slide did she want?
She said the extensions for the different departments. So I think that's probably it. Yeah. Great. We have another question here.
If you fall into our 800 number, it will prompt you to tell you which destination to dial in. So you don't have to remember it necessarily at this moment, but know our 800 number and it will direct you to the right person.
Great. We have another question here. I think you had mentioned this during your presentation. Is the park fee included in the overall price of the tour, and is the cost still $100?
The $100 fee for the Galapagos is additional. It is not included. It is additional, and your clients will pay that when they get to the Galapagos Islands.
Perfect. Well, I think that is going to be it for questions. Thank you again for a great presentation. And
thank you.
Thank you to the travel professionals who attended for being part of our webinar this afternoon. I'm sorry, were you going to say something, Elena?
I was just going to say, if I can help anyone, if they have any other further questions, feel free to either call or email me.
Perfect. Well, thank you all very much. I just wanted to mention that Elena will be doing another presentation for us next Thursday, May 5th at 2 p.m. about Europe. Invitations for that will be going out today, so please keep an eye on your email box. Again, thank you all very much. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.